Pokémon regions are often varied and have a place for every Pokémon type to make a splash, but in Pokémon Legends Z-A, we're not dealing with a full region, are we? We are dealing with a single city, Lumiose City, a place that has been redeveloped by Quasartico in order to have wild zones, places where humans and Pokémon can live in harmony, and battle and hit each other and, the whole thing. That's pretty cool and all, but looking at the map, I see a distinct lack of certain biomes. So hey, I'm not so a strainer, and where are they? Let's get into it. One of the first things that was discussed when Pokémon Legends Z-A was announced last year was how they would make sure that being inside of a city wasn't boring. I mean, Pokémon has you running around from one route to the other all the time, exploring various caves, towns and cities. Every new one different from the last, making sure that we're never bored. Don't get me wrong, from what I saw in the trailer, in terms of moving around in the city, I don't think we'll be bored at all, but I do believe that, at least from the Lumiose map, there seems to be a bit of a lack on certain biomes. This is understandable, given the setting, but I can't say that it is a very common thing or what we've come to expect from a Pokémon game and the map we adventure through. I know a lot of the stuff is covered by buildings when it comes to the map they release, but you still can make up a lot of it. Like you can make up the like, subscribe and join button, for example. I plan on doing a map analysis soon, but I think we all noticed that from the trailer, certain biomes like for example Ice types don't seem to have a place there. Before we continue though, do you think every Colossean Pokémon is coming back? Let me know down below. To be more precise, only one Ice type was shown in the trailer, and that was Glaceon, because clearly they wanted a lot of focus on Eevee. I think we'll find out about that soon, maybe, or maybe it's just Hopian once more. But we can't forget that we have two Mega Pokémon that are Ice type, Mega Glalie and Mega Abomasnow, and I can't see a single Mega Pokémon being left behind in this game. Most of the biomes shown can easily fit a lot of the Pokémon available so far, as they don't have any specific requirements, and so I can totally see them just roaming around in green areas, sandy places and the small ponds. There's also a power grid here where I'm sure we can find some electric type Pokémon. But for example, we see Larvitar and Bagon in the new trailer, and those are Pokémon that are not often found outside of caves. And I'm sure there are other cave-bound Pokémon that are part of the Lumiose City-bound game and need a place to show up. For example, we see an Onix in the trailer and we're using it, but where did we get it? Once more, Onix are usually cave-bound Pokémon, and I find it strange if they're just roaming around in the open. This, of course, would be fixed by one of the other things everyone has been talking about since the first trailer of Pokémon Legends Z-A, and that is, of course, the underground. At this point, they haven't confirmed it yet, but we do have some entrances in the trailer and in the map, and I'm pretty sure that soon, in June I hope, they will finally reveal this hidden part of the whole thing. But while that instantly fixes the cave-bound Pokémon, the Pokémon that like the darkness, it doesn't really do it for the Ice types, for example, as they're Pokémon that usually like a more specific environment, usually in the form of ice caves or ice areas. On stream, Jared told me that some people have been speculating about this specific place right here being Ice type related. I think this is Bleu Plaza, and while it is possible that they confine the Ice types to this specific area, when I look at it, I see a regular lake with some cobblestone paths. Jay Delado, another huge member of the community, also suggested the possibility of seasons making a return, and the changes in weather influencing the Pokémon available to us. It would be an interesting test for the likely Gen 5 remakes that we'll see in the future, games that will undoubtedly bring back this feature, but I believe that those games are gonna be the ones that revive it, not Pokémon Legends Z-A. It's going to continue to be a new thing, at least until then. I also thought about the rooftop color, telling you a little bit more about what Pokémon you'd find in that area, but the power grid, the place where I think we'll find a lot of electric type Pokémon, is in the red rooftop area and not the yellow rooftop area, so I quickly discarded that possibility. I think the underground continues to be the one that makes more sense, but it kinda needs something extra to make even more sense, and that's where our good friends Quasartico come into play. I recently made a video about them and how I think that half of the ones we know is not the villain and the other half is the villain. Check the video out if you haven't already. but I believe there is a hidden reasoning behind the wild zones that I don't think they'd limit their actions to what we can usually see. What I'm trying to say is that not only the streets and plazas will have the Quasartico touch to them, and they will very likely be doing something else in a place that we do not access during our daily routine. Once again, that would be the underground, but still the same problem arises. The need for a specific environment, not just a dark cave or a cave in general. Ice usually needs ice, but if we think about it, that is no issue at all. In the Pokemon world, if you have access to money and technology, then you can literally do anything, and we have recently experienced that firsthand when we played through a very specific part of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and it was actually pretty interesting to explore. The Blueberry Academy, from its shape and its concept, feels like a cool hint at something that is limited but still has all of the usual Pokemon biomes. It really only has one big difference from the usual landscapes we adventure through in Pokemon games, and that's that these ones were man-made. The ones in Lumiose City are also man-made, though at least at first glance, not in the same way of the ones in the Blueberry Academy. They're pretty well mixed with the city and not just taking over it. But I believe that in the area that we cannot see, which might be the underground or it might be the sewers or something else entirely, we'll have something a little more artificial, trying to mimic different cave systems of Kalos, including, for example, the Reflection Cave, where we'll be able to catch Carbink. I don't know, I have a feeling that whatever research Quasartico is doing, whatever secret research, because let's be honest, they're not just redeveloping the city, they need access to different kinds of Pokemon, and so different kinds of biomes are needed. They need a mini Kalos region, basically. And before you go against me with, oh, what secret research? I mean, they're built basically on top of Lysander Labs, and that's not a very good place or a place where good things happen, so I don't know, I don't trust them. Basically, in summary, I think the Lumiose City that we have seen in the map that we've got is not the full Lumiose City that we'll explore, and I think that we'll have a lot of artificial biomes for Pokemon that kinda need those in order to be researched or something. Those biomes will be there solely for the purpose of research. Like I said, a mini Kalos region inside of Lumiose City, with maybe even the ultimate weapon and all of that. While the ones we have on the surface will be marketed as places to strengthen the bond between people and Pokemon, the other ones will be there just for them to be experienced on, basically, just trying to collect life energy in order to fuel whatever goals someone that Quasartico has. Yes, more underground hopium, I know, but bear with me, it makes sense. But hey, that is all I have for you today anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Dash Plays and Yahtzee and Twitch subscriber Anubis and Zanes222 for going that extra mile. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much.